white or Mexican people in our neighborhood. So for me to see through my eyes what I'm seeing today, it hurts me. It hurts me because we have fell back from what this country was all about. Now with me, I have found it difficult to be friends across the board with races. The few white people that I've had friendships with, just like President Trump, they have reared their ugly head. I have gone out with black women and I've gone out with white women throughout my lifetime. Some of the black women that I've gone out with, they've always questioned my heritage. When they see or meet my mother, which is a rarity, they ask me, "Is your mother white?" "Oh, I didn't know you had white in your family." When I'm around a white woman, since I am not a dark-skinned brother like Wesley Snipes, the first thing that she assumes is that I am Hispanic. And then when I open my mouth, then you could tell that I'm a black man. I hate that shit, because I've been dealing with this all of my life. And now we are reaching the juncture of this day and age that there is going to be a major race war that is upon us. And I have to ask all of you, which side of the fence will you be on? Now, my mother tried to raise me to be a liberal-minded person, and I've tried to treat everyone equally. But because I don't have the appearance of a black man, because I don't have the conversation, the communication skills of a black person, then my heritage is always in question. I ran into a person a few days ago that first time when they saw me, they assumed that I was Hispanic. When they look at my pictures, they assume that I was Hispanic. But no, I'm not Hispanic. I'm a black man. On my original Pennsylvania birth certificate, it says Negro male child. And nowadays, people have to wonder who I am. Different people where I see each and every day, they ask me towards the end of their journey, "Oh, I am so sorry to have assumed that you were Mexican. I am so sorry to assume that you're Spanish." And I've gotten used to it that it doesn't bother me. But the one thing that really makes me mad is that now that President Trump has shown that he is a racist piece of shit, I have to step back when I'm around some white people to see how they're going to greet me, to see how they're going to talk to me. And those of you that have followed me on Facebook, you know that I don't mince my words. But because of me not mincing my words, it has caused me problems in friendships with different types of people, because they all want to say that they don't want to get involved in the drama that I bring. Well, I'm going to tell you what. You should have lived my life. You should have walked in my shoes. You should have been me for the past 55 years of my life. Then you would really know what drama is all about. So don't come to me with that bullshit about, "Oh, I have black friends. Oh, I understand what you black people go through." You don't understand a motherfucker thing of what us black people go through. And you damn sure don't understand what the fuck I go through, because I've been living under the image of Julio for the majority of my life. But we will talk about those things very soon. But because of the pride that my mother instilled in me, because of the words of encouragement that she gives me each and every day, I hold on to particular things from my childhood, because those things and those particular songs help me to overcome the problems of the choices of colors that we have in the world today.
There's a set going strong, a lot of things going on. The man of the hour has an air of great power. The dudes have envied him for so long. Oh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Hard to understand. What a hell of a man. This cat of the slum had a mind, wasn't dumb. But a weakness was shown, cause his hustle was wrong. His mind was his own, but the man lived alone. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. The game he plays for keys. Hustling times in ghetto streets, trying to get over. That's what he's trying to do, y'all. Taking all that he can take, gambling with the odds of fate, trying to get over, trying to get over. Superfly. The aim of his role was to move a lot of blow. Ask him his dream, what does it mean? He wouldn't know. Can't be like the rest, is the most he'll confess. But the time's running out and there's no happiness. Ooh, Superfly, you're gonna make your fortune by and by. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Superfly,
Back when I was growing up on the east side of Detroit, I saw life at first hand. I saw the pimps, the pushers, the players, the hustlers. And I grew up in a very confused state. My father broke camp, so to speak. He divorced my mother in 1971, and he was on his way. So I had to grow up feeling abandoned. So I put myself into the movies of the 70s. I put myself into movies like Superfly, Shaft, Hell Up in Harlem, Cotton Comes to Harlem. I went to the Fox Theater and I watched all of these images on the screen. And that's what I saw growing up. I looked around And I didn't realize that me and my mother were poor. I never thought that we were poor. My mother always kept a clean house. My mother always kept food in the house. My mother always did everything that she had to do as being my mother. And it's because of her that when I look back on my life, I pay homage to the 70s and 80s, because those were the times that made me the person that I am today. But unfortunately, we live in a different time today. We live in a time to where there is no unity. We live in a time to where the realistic and realism of people are gone. It's now about Facebook. It's now about Instagram. We have gone from the personal voice-to-voice conversations to texting. People would rather text you all day long than to actually talk to you on the phone. Why? Because to talk on the phone, eventually you will hear the fakeness in that person's reality. I am so pissed off that throughout this year, the few friends or the few people that I've tried to get to know, they would have rather talked in text message than to actually talk on the phone. And I know as long as I pay my Comcast bill, I will have a home phone. But it don't make any sense to even try to talk to somebody on a house phone, because they are so used to talking to people in a text message. And it kills me because people have allowed themselves to become impersonal individuals. People have allowed themselves to check a person out through the internet. I remember back in the day, if you wanted to check a person out, the only way that you knew how to check a person out was to look to them face to face. But now this is the day and age that modern technology has taken away the personability that we once had, has taken away the values and the virtues that we have grown up with. And it blows my mind because I enjoy interacting with people, male and female, young and old, black and white. But I get so pissed off when a person would rather talk with me through endless text messages than to pick up a phone and say, how you doing? What happened to them days when you would pick up a phone and call somebody and say good morning? What happened to them days when you would call somebody and just say, hey, what's up? I'm thinking about you. Now it's about text messaging. Now it's about Facebook. Now it's about Instagram. Well, I got news for you right now. This time, the revolution won't be televised. The revolution will not come on Facebook, will not come on Instagram, will not come on whatever site that you're on. The revolution is right in front of you right now. The revolution is staring you right in your face right now. The revolution has affected your home right now. And you know what? I tell you honestly, I used to turn away from drug-addicted people to people who were alcoholics. But you know what? I have more respect for those people today because those people have the realistic and the realism view of their life. Some of them know they need help. Some of them know that they get help. But instead of sitting in their houses posting things about rehab, posting things about self-help, posting things about how blessed that they are, they would rather do it the secretive way. They would rather go on Facebook and hide behind the internet, hide behind fake pictures, hide behind the fear of being themselves. Because that's what it's all about nowadays. It is about the fear of someone else. It is about the fear of making a choice of who you do. It is the fear of interacting with white folks if you're black. The fear of interacting if you are a white person that you want to be friends, but you don't want to speak to your neighbor across the street because they are Hispanic. You would rather find people in a secretive cause and be secret and allow yourselves to put up this facade of who you are because